Hello, Internet. Update time. I'm back from my communing with nature out in the Rocky Mountains. Had a great time. I was gone for a total of about 13 days, 12 nights. And, you know, when I go on a trip like that, I don't like to map it out. I like to follow my nose and just sort of play it day by day. And so when I left here, I didn't know exactly where I would be going other than in the direction of Colorado. But I ended up staying basically right along the Continental Divide in central Colorado the entire time. I was kind of in the 9 to 12,000 foot range pretty much every single night once I got, you know, through the high plains and into Colorado. So I changed campsites, campgrounds, stayed in a hotel a few nights interspersed in there because of things that I needed a Wi-Fi connection to do a Zoom call with Mayo Clinic one morning. And also I kind of needed a break from sleeping on the ground in my tent. So I did have a couple of hotel nights mixed in there, but for the most part, I was in national forest campgrounds, 1 or 2 nights of dispersed camping near Fairplay, Colorado. And I had a really great time. It was very good for the soul for me, the kind of stuff that I love to do. And got back here on Saturday, so back in civilization again. And I wanted to get this video posted because I sort of alluded to the fact that there were some things coming up in the near future, and I wanted to explain that to you guys. When I had my last oncology visit, which is now about 3 weeks ago, they were very happy with the results. I think we already talked about all of that, but they wanted to refer me to interventional radiology because they thought that it might be a good time to go in and do some ablations on the bit of metastatic disease that remains after this latest round of chemotherapy and immunotherapy. So what we've got are those 2 very small spots on the liver and then that soft tissue mid-abdomen stuff, which is also very small, like on the order of 1/2 centimeter, 2/3 of a centimeter. But the reply from interventional radiology was that it was very reasonable at this time to go in and do ablations and see if they can completely wipe out those little nodes and nodules that remain. So that's what we're gonna do. There seemed to be a consensus that this was the right time. After having been through treatment since late February, these things are shrunk down and at a very manageable place where they can, the ablations are done by basically a needle. They don't cut me open, they go in with a needle. The liver ones will be burned and the midline abdominal spots will be frozen. It's called cryoablation. So I don't know if you remember back in September of 2023, I also had some ablations. I had 1 or 2 in the liver and 1 in the lung, and they burn the liver and they freeze the lung. And so again, this one, they will burn the liver ones and freeze the soft tissue. The burning and the freezing has to do with the kind of tissue they're dealing with, and apparently heat handles a certain kind of tissue better, and extreme cold takes care of another kind. So that's what's going to happen. That will be next week. I have to go down to Rochester on Tuesday for labs and a consultation and an ultrasound. The ultrasound is so they can sort of map the area because they'll need that to guide the instruments, the needles, the following day, Wednesday, which is when I will go down, report at 9:30 a.m. for those ablations. It is done under general anesthesia, so I will be put to sleep And if everything goes well and I do fine with the anesthesia and, I wake up fine and my vitals are all good and they're not worried about anything, they can send me home on Wednesday. However, my ablations last time, they kept me overnight. Now, that could be because last time when I woke up, I was kind of nauseous an hour or two after waking up, and I think I threw up within a couple of hours of waking up after anesthesia. And also back in September 23, that was before I got my mitral valve fixed. And I was also wearing a urinary catheter. So my situation was a lot more complicated in September of 23 than it is today. I'm in better health. I am well beyond the cardio issues and the urology issues that were going on, as you guys remember, simultaneously. I was dealing with all that stuff back in 2023. So anyway, the point being, I'm kind of hoping that I'll be in good enough shape on Wednesday after the procedure to be able to go home. So that's kind of the plan. But if they do keep me, it will only be overnight. So that's all I got for you today. I just wanted to let you guys know that that was coming up. Myself, my family and everybody, we were very happy to hear that they wanted to do that so soon. And, the goal is to basically erase all the traces of metastatic disease that remain in my body right now. And it kind of puts me at, an NED, no evidence of disease stage for, however long. We don't know whether that, will last months or what, but what it does is it kind of resets the clock and keeps me from having to go back on treatment. The panitumumab, and the capecitabine, which was so harsh on my skin and my fingers, as you know. So I'm kind of glad if we have successful ablations, it's possible that I might be able to go many months. I hate to get too optimistic after saying many months. We'll see. But it could at least stretch out the amount of time before I have to go back on some sort of treatment, the monoclonal antibody immunotherapy chemo treatment again. So there you have it. July 4th weekend coming up. We're in the middle of summer. I'm sure everybody's busy, a lot of plans going on, and I wish everyone a happy Independence Day weekend, and I hope all is going well. Thank you again for checking in and for being there, and for all of your love and support. And I'll check back in later with more info after this procedure next week. So thanks a lot. Love you guys. Bye.